Hey, hi, hello guys, how are you all? All good? This is our day 3 of Vakatakas dynasty. If you haven't subscribed our channel yet, please go to the YouTube channel My TSPSC Preparation and subscribe. You can also follow our Facebook page My TSPSC Preparation. Today is our last day of Vakatakas, which today I am going to close the chapter of Vakatakas dynasty. Guys, you see the picture which is over here on the slide, right? This is the cover page of Meghadutam. What is it? Meghadutam. This is written by Kalidasa. Yesterday we have discussed that Kalidasa existed during the time of Vakatakas. Today you have to tell me Kalidasa was the contemporary of which Vakataka king? Yeah, this is the question of the day for you. So for the today's class, let's get started. We have seen the dynasty ruling period of Vakatakas. It is almost 250 years, right? 250 to 500 AD, which is around 250 years. I am going to talk about this Meghadutam in the upcoming slides. It has a beautiful story behind the composition, which is done by Kalidasa. Okay, so in this class we are going to look into the political situation during that time, like how was the revenue generated, what religion they used to follow. So the basics of every dynasty that we need to know, that is the religion, the caste, how is the revenue generated during that time, their contemporaries, and last but not the least, their artistic works or their literary works. Whichever works has been done during that time, all those things we are going to look into for every dynasty, each and every dynasty. Talking about the revenue, how they used to get the revenue. First thing is they used to get revenue from land tax. See, from Shatavahanas we have seen they have imported, exported many things from Shatavahanas time only. What Shatavahanas they have imported and exported? Imports included like textiles, yeah, and agriculture was their main source of income, and they used to get tax in the form of land revenue, right? So these things also continued during the time of Vakatakas. Wine, copper, gold and silver. So these are the imports of Shatavahanas, and exports mainly textile industry, right? So yeah, the same thing it followed during their period also. Who's Vakatakas? That is, textile includes thin cloth and land revenue in the form of land tax. How will you tell about land tax? Meaning that they used to donate agraharas. Agraharas ante రాజులు ల్యాండ్ డొనేట్ చేసేస్తారు, ఇంకా ఆ ల్యాండ్ మీద రెవెన్యూ వచ్చేది వాళ్ళకి. ఎలాగ ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇవ్వాలి అంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కింగ్స్ బ్రాహ్మిన్స్కి ల్యాండ్ ఇచ్చేసి మీరు టెంపుల్స్ని చూసుకోండి, దాంతో వచ్చే రెవెన్యూ కింగ్స్ రెవెన్యూ అయిపోతుంది. అంటే కింగ్స్కి వాళ్ళు పే చేయాలి. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ద కల్చర్ దే యూస్ టు ఫాలో. సో ల్యాండ్ డొనేషన్స్, దాన్నే మనము అగ్రహారాస్ అంటాం. సో దీస్ అగ్రహారాస్ డొనేషన్ వాజ్ అ ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాండ్ ట్యాక్స్. అండ్ డెఫినెట్లీ వెన్ ల్యాండ్ ట్యాక్స్ మీనింగ్ అగ్రికల్చర్తో డెఫినెట్లీ ఇట్ విల్ బి దేర్. అండ్ దే హ్యాడ్ taxes on imports, that is from town to village and village to town. They used to do all the imports on which they used to levy the taxes. So this is the source of income. Now the religion, what they used to follow. First, what did I talk about, guys? We have seen that Pravarasena, he built Shaiva temple, isn't it? We have seen Pravarasena built Shaiva temple. From yesterday's class, let me show you the picture also. So this is the Shaiva temple which we seen yesterday. With this, what we can say, Shaiva followed, meaning that Hinduism perfectly they followed. Yeah. Then we have seen Pravarasena I, he mentioned his mother's name to be Hariti. Hariti is closely related with Buddhism. That is because Hariti existed during the time of Gautam Buddha. So that's why we understood that they believe in Buddhism, right? Apart from this, Jainism also they followed. Okay, and then there is this Lord Vishnu temple built by Skandhavarma. So these are the points which we have seen, and with this we can say that they have followed Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. Of these guys, what are the most important points are, first thing, this Pravarasena too was a Shaiva follower because he built the Shiva temple, and then Skandhavarma built Lord Vishnu temple. This is one more point that we need to remember. Yeah, and during this period, Ajanta Ellora caves, they portrayed few figures. I'm going to show you those pictures, but those pictures, when historians they have researched, they told that these belong to Vakataka period. So this was the conclusion given by historians. There are few caves, there are many caves, out of which like cave number 16, 17 and 19 was found to be during the period of Vakatakas. Okay, and see, Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism we have seen. So at that time, talking about festivals, it was Sankranti and Ekadashi. They used to perform these festivals also, and many people used to go to Prayaga. Guys, this is not Pragaya, this is Prayaga. Prayaga. Okay, so people used to go to Prayaga also. Where is Prayaga now? Remember Prayag Kumbh Mela of Allahabad? So it is a pilgrimage center. People go to offer their prayers. So the ritual used to follow from that time. And the festivals we have seen, Sankranti, Ekadashi and caste system. See, caste system, intercaste marriages was there, guys. And then child marriage was also popular. This was specially seen in Brahmin families, guys. This child marriage was seen in Brahmin families, and Sati it was there but not much. Only Kshatriya family they followed, and this Vakatakas they are Brahmins. Like Shatavahanas they are also Brahmins. Vakatakas are also Brahmins. Now if you look into the art of Ajanta, it shows that they had great respect towards women. So this is shown in the art form of Ajanta. This art of Ajanta and Ellora is very, very famous of Vakatakas, guys. When you think of Vakatakas, Ajanta and Ellora should always come to your mind. Yeah, and I talked about Agraharas. Okay, now we will see one such figure from the Ajanta cave. Okay, so here is a figure from the Ajanta cave. You see this figure, this is from the Ajanta cave. Okay, this is Alokiteshwara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, which is in Ajanta caves, Maharashtra. Okay, this figure you can just have a look. If you want me to expand, I can expand and show you. Okay, this is the figure. Yep. Okay, moving forward, now we are going to talk about the literary works of during that time, that is the composition whichever happened during that time. When I'm saying composition, it is nothing but if you write or pen down something, it can be a poetry, it can be a music, anything whichever you write. Okay, so that will be called as a composition. So the compositions of during that time were Yajnavakya, Naradiya, Katyayana, Smritis. So these three are very, very important. You have to somehow remember these three, guys. I have no other form to make you guys memorize this, but if someone knows how to memorize these three works, please do share it so that it can be help to others. Okay, so three main compositions of during that time has been Yajnavalkya, Naradiya, Katyayana. Apart from this, they also had Padartha Sangraham, Karika, Lankavarta. These three were also the literary works of Vakatakas. And main thing which we were looking from first slide, that is Meghadutam. Now I'll tell you a small story with related to Meghadutam. People who are not interested, you can just scroll up, that is move forward, and then get to the next point. This is how the story goes. You see the name Meghadutam. Meg meaning clouds. Dutam or Dut meaning messenger. That is the message through clouds. Okay, so now it includes two parts. Purva Megh and Uttar Megh. Purva Megha meaning east cloud. Uttar Megha meaning north cloud. Okay, so this story begins with the king Kubera. Kubera, you know, he is the god of wealth. We worship him for money. So under this king, he had many yaksha. I told you who are yakshas, guys. If you don't know, I'll quickly tell you, they are neither humans nor gods. They have supernatural powers with themselves and they can manipulate, right? So this yaksha, one of the yakshas, was given a task by the king Kubera. But our yaksha, he actually was day and night so closely attached to his wife. He used to love his wife like anything, that he forgets everything. He doesn't know who is the king, he doesn't know what, nothing he knows but only his wife. He loves his wife so much. Who? Yaksha. That Kubera, when he gave the task, he couldn't do because he was with his wife only. So listening to this, Kubera, when he got to know that Yaksha did not do anything for him, Kubera, he immediately sent Yaksha to exile. Exile meaning staying away from our close people. So he was sent to earth and his wife was staying in Himalaya mountains. Okay, so for 1 year, 1 complete year, he was given punishment that you should stay away from this place. You have to stay in India. Okay, so during that time, Yaksha, he wanted to communicate with his wife in some or the other way. He was being restless that, no, I want to talk to my wife. I am very anxious and eager to meet her. So that thinking that, he narrates how Yaksha, he talks to the clouds and he tells the clouds that please send my message to my wife. The journey taken by the cloud to reach or send his message to his wife, which is in Himalayas, is the whole story around which it revolves. Yeah, so this story Kalidasa narrated so beautifully that you will almost feel like the scenes are running in front of you. So that's why Kalidasa's Meghadutam is given so importance. Yeah, so this is the story of Kalidasa. Next, we have seen the works of Pravarasena too, which is Setubandhu. Right? Setubandhu we have already seen. This is not in Sanskrit language, it is in Prakrit language. I have shown you the cover page in Sanskrit language. Once again, if you want, I can show you guys. I'll quickly show you, 1 second. Yeah, this is the cover page of Setubandhu, right? So this is the cover page of Setubandhu written by Pravarasena too. Okay, and also Sarvasena. Who is Sarvasena? He is the youngest son of Pravarasena 1. Yeah, he has also written Hari Vijayam. This is the story of Parijata Paharam. See, Hari Vijayam, I have told you, Hari meaning, we have the song Govinda Bolo Hari Gopal Bolo. So that Hari meaning Krishna. So Krishna's Vijay. Vijay meaning the win or the victory of Lord Krishna. Now, on what will he gain victory? On what is the discussion about? So this is about the quarrel which happened between Krishna and his two wives, that is Rukmini and Satyabhama. The fight is over a flower called Parijatam. This Parijatam flower, this has a beautiful smell, guys. So what happens one day, Narad, he brings this Parijata flower from Indra's tree. Okay, Lord Indra has this tree, and from this tree he got one flower and he gave to Krishna. Now Krishna was with Rukmini at that time. Yeah, so then Krishna decided to give that flower to Rukmini. Once Satyabhama got to know that Krishna gave this flower to Rukmini, she became jealous and she insisted Krishna, and she started crying in front of all devtas that she wants the tree now. So this is the fight that happened between Krishna, Rukmini and Satyabhama. So this Harivijayam is written by Sarvasena, and this is in Prakrit language. After this, we are going to talk about this Ellora caves, Ajanta Ellora caves. This caves number 16 and 17. This talks about Shiva figures. So if you go to these caves, you will form the figures of the Lord Shiva. And cave 19, this talks about the Buddhist worship or things related to Buddhism you can find in this cave number 19. All this information, this gives us the details that these existed during the time of Vakatakas. With this, we have completed our today's class as well. If you want me to quickly run through today's highlights, I can do that. What is their main revenue? It is through tax, that is tax on imports and thin cloth and land tax. The religions are Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. Skandavarma, he is a Pallava king. Remember Shiva Skandavarma of Pallava king? So he is the same person. He built the Lord Vishnu temple, and Pravarsena, he built the Shaiva temple, and he is a Shaiva follower. People used to go to Prayaga for pilgrimage, and the festivals were Sankranti and Ekadashi. Ajanta art, it replicates that those people, they used to respect women a lot, and during that time they followed the donation of agraharas meaning the land given by the kings to their people. And here next we have seen the literary works which is very very important. The most important ones is Meghadutam written by Kalidasa, and other important works being Yajnavalkya, Naradiya, Katyayana Smritis. So don't ask me who has written all this because the information is not provided anywhere. And other few compositions have been Padartha Sangraharam, Karika and Lankavarta. Sarvasena has written Harivijayam, Pravarsena too, he has written Setu Bandhu. Okay, these are the highlights of today's class. Guys, with this today we have completed Vakatakas also. I'll quickly run through the syllabus where we are, whether we are on track or not. That also I wanted to show you guys. You see in this, here's this slide. We have finished before Shatavahanas, whatever the kingdoms we have seen, the Sabaramulaka, Asmaka kingdom. Shatavahanas also we have seen, Ikshvakus we have seen, Abhiras is done, Vakatakas is done. I am going to take Buddha Jain religion in Telangana after Vishnu Kundina dynasty, guys. After Vishnu Kundina and Vemlavada dynasty, I am going to talk about Buddha Jain religion in Telangana. Okay, after this Vakatakas, I am directly jump into Vishnu Kundina dynasty. So our next class is going to be on Vishnu Kundina dynasty. So if you see, all these we have completed in just 21 to 22 days. Okay, so this will be done with the today's class in 22 days, and the rest of the portion I will finish it off in almost like 120 days. Yeah, after that we are going to talk about the Telangana movements. That is one more big chapter. If you like my video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up button, like, share and subscribe to my TSPSC preparation. For Vishnu Kundina dynasty, one small homework you need to do, that is you have to go through Ikshvaku dynasty. If you haven't seen my class on Ikshvaku dynasty, then please don't directly jump into Vishnu Kundina dynasty. That is my humble suggestion to you guys. After Ikshvakus only get into Vishnu Kundina dynasty. And before coming to my tomorrow's class, get ready with the Ikshvaku dynasty. Get prepared and come. Yep, this is closely related with Vishnu Kundina dynasty. Yep. On this note, I take leave of you guys. Happy reading. Take care. Bye-bye.